We saw a little miscommunication defensively there from Atlanta on the fast break, and I think that's why Marianelle Metters took the timeout. As you saw her just yelling at some players, we got to figure out who's going to stop Lindsey Harding. That's too easy.
Right, it's definitely too easy. Lindsey Harding, once she has a head of steam, she is difficult to stop. And that time you saw her speed and quickness that has been a strength of hers her entire basketball career. But you look at what the Mystics have done in this 5-0 run, and that's rebound the ball very well, take a couple charges, and get their own offensive rebounds and stickbacks.
A 9-2 run the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And the Mystics are right back in this ball game. But if you take a look at this series, Atlanta, second straight year that they're in the postseason. They were knocked out like the Mystics in the first round a year ago. So both teams really have a lot to prove, thinking we're not just happy now getting into the postseason, we want to go further. So both teams, I think they've got that edge. They want to move past this first round.
Well, the Mystics are confident, and the comments that they've made, they want to go further because they've beaten every team in the WNBA at least one time. So that should give you some amount of confidence right there. But Atlanta, with what they did early in the season, and they hit a couple bumps along the way, but what they did early in the season should give them confidence as well to understand that they do have that in them to get it done.
Yeah, Mystics' best record ever as a franchise, 22-12. Atlanta 19-15.
Well, in the 4-game series this season with Atlanta and Washington, in 3 of those games, the Mystics either tied or out-rebounded Atlanta. In the 1 game the Mystics lost, Atlanta out-rebounded them.
3:21 left in this first quarter. Atlanta with the 2-point lead and the basketball. Marquez gets it taken from Langhorn, jump ball. As you see, Crystal showing that she can defend some of these smaller players as well.
Right, and you've heard that the USA Basketball, they picked up those 4-post players. Crystal Langhorn was not one of those players, but her size doesn't matter. It's the size of the player's heart, you know, you think about that. And she's done a tremendous job this season. 16 points, just about 10 rebounds a game, top 10 in scoring, top 5 in boards.
Tip is won by Atlanta. 10 to shoot. Pass from Marquez to Lenning. There's McCautry. Her first shot is way off. Sanford with the rebound. And again, the Mystics will push off and running. Smith wide open, another layup.
Well, that's the type of basketball that Washington is capable of playing. And the key for Washington was transition defense, but it's also a key for the Atlanta Dream right there. Didn't have defense back in time.
Quickly the other way, Angel McCautry gets hit, and she's going to shoot 2. And that is a foul on Katie Smith.
Well, that's the thing about Angel McCautry. You think you have her contained, and then she picks it up, and she takes it up a notch in terms of her speed and agility to the basket. Right there, Katie Smith tried to get her body there in time. Didn't make it.
McCautry looking for her first point. She averages 21 a game. And if I would list my top 5 players, she's on the cusp of breaking through to be one of the elite players in the WNBA, but she misses the first.
Well, she's 3rd in the WNBA in steals, and defense is heart and desire, and she definitely has that in her 2nd year out of Louisville. Played in a Final Four championship game against UConn her senior year, lost to UConn.
Misses both free throws the other way. It's Curry got her shot deflected, and Atlanta controls 3-on-3. McCautry going to go until somebody stops her. Can't get it to fall down. Curry with the rebound. Don't have numbers. Katie Smith front court, 2:27 left first quarter, all tied up at 12-12 until Langhorn misses the layup. I thought that was going to go down. And Lenning with the long board.
Well, Langhorn is just very quick. When she gets that ball, that sweep-through move is just stupendous.
Speaking of a sweep-through move, McCautry with a sweep move for 2.
Well, you've got to find her as soon as she crosses half court, or you're going to be dead when she catches it.
14-12 Atlanta back up on top. 2 minutes to play first quarter.
Washington doing a better job in the second half of this first quarter.
Finding the open woman again, playing a little zone Atlanta, but they can't stop Sanford inside. And off the bench, she has had some big points here. 6 points, 3 of 3 from the field.
Right, and she has done a good job bringing that energy. She has 3 rebounds also.
Bales has just checked in off to McCautry, 10 to shoot. Angel trying to draw contact, no whistle, good defense from Smith. Mystics will push.
That was a display of supreme, pristine defense. by Katie Smith did not allow Angel McCoughtry to turn the corner and get to the hole.
Atlanta is going 2-3 zone, 1:15 left here in this first quarter. Curry going to line up a three, can't get the fall down. Lenning with the rebound. And the dream the other way. Mystics had a chance to take a lead there for the first time. Coming up on 1 minute to play. McCoughtry, another jumper. That's way short. And Smith with the rebound.
Well, McCoughtry is just 1 for 5 right now. 0 for 1 from 3. Struggling offensively, but she is known to score in bunches. That doesn't mean she's not going to score at all today.
Cracking a three. Smith. It goes down. First lead of the ball game for the Mystics.
Well, the Washington Mystics fans are on their feet because Katie Smith has 3 gold medals in one pocket, and in the other pocket she's got 2 WNBA titles.
17-14, 35 seconds left in this first quarter. D'Souza off the jump pass, hard off the iron. Curry with the rebound. They turned it over in the backcourt. As Curry was looking for Harding. That's a 4th turnover by the Mystics. As DC, a couple subs coming in for the Mystics. Monroe and Adjavon and Langhorne and Katie Smith check out. But you can definitely sense that both teams a little jittery. Butterflies still in the tummy in this first quarter. A lot of turnovers and stiff play.
Right. They just have to relax, absorb the moment, and embrace the moment, and stay poised. And know that if you stick to your execution of the game plan, all things will point to success.
With 17 to shoot and 19 in the first quarter, there's McCoughtry, triple teamed. Adjavon got hit, and they're going to be shooting a couple free throws. Bales with the reach-in foul. And Adjavon will go the other way and shoot a couple of free throws with 13.3 seconds as the shot clock is off. But we've seen Matisse Adjavon with the quick hands, and there she does it again. And she draws a foul on Bales.
Well, she's a firecracker. You know the ones you throw on the ground, they just pop. That is Matisse Adjavon. She has such quick, explosive energy when she comes in for the Washington Mystics. Plays about 15 minutes, which is what she played on Sunday. Was 3 for 3 from the floor for Washington. Had 11 points and 3 assists.
So Matisse to shoot 2 here with, again, 13.3 seconds left in the first quarter. And the Mystics now up by 18-14. Atlanta was up 10-1. And the Mystics have responded. And now looking for possibly a 5-point lead here. And they do.
Well, Washington knew they just had to wait for things to unfold, but Atlanta, you know they're not going anywhere. They're fighting for their lives. They're trying to get a win here. They've lost 2 in a row.
With 5 seconds to play, Mystics had a couple fouls to give, and they score it. As McCoughtry smartly knew what Curry was trying to do, so she just went through the motion. She scores it. +1, she's going to shoot a free throw.
But you can just see Angel McCoughtry had a step on Curry. Curry just tried to grab her. Angel McCoughtry went through, followed through with her shot, and knocked it in.
So, very heads-up play by Angel McCoughtry, knowing Curry's going to try to use one of the personal fouls that the Mystics had, because they had a couple to give, but McCoughtry said, I'm going to shoot it, score, and makes it a 3-point play, and it's a 2-point ball game. 5 seconds left, first quarter. Harding to push with 2, with 1, and does she get it off in time? She does, but it does not go down. The Mystics, after trailing 10-1, last 5:40, outscore Atlanta 18-7 after 1 quarter of play. It's the Mystics leading Atlanta 19-17. You're watching the WNBA playoffs on NBA TV. Mystics up by 2, 19-17 as we start the second quarter at Verizon Center. It's game 1 of the Eastern Conference playoffs, WNBA postseason, and the Mystics, after a very slow start, Christy, have a 2-point lead. Angel McCoughtry, though, with one of the smarter plays that we've seen right before the horn. The Mystics had a foul to give. McCoughtry saw they were trying to give that foul, so she went through the active shooting, got it to go +1. That's a big play early for Atlanta.
That's a huge play for Atlanta to get going offensively, get their go-to player to score the ball. You're taught when you hear that whistle to get in that shooting motion. She knocked it in, but for Atlanta in the first 4 minutes, Frank, they had 3 offensive rebounds that equaled 6 points on second chance buckets. In the last 6 minutes, no offensive rebounds for Atlanta. That means the Washington Mystics are getting a body on someone inside, not allowing those second chance buckets.
Mystics going with Adjavon, Smith, Sanford, Monroe, and Harding. They start with the basketball, 13 to shoot. Price is on Harding. She's got 2 fouls. McCautry Little's back in with 2. Castro Marquez and Miller knocked out of bounds by Atlanta. 8 to shoot for the Mystics.
Well, Sancho Little did a good job that time staying nice and loose on Nakia Sanford as the defensive player inside. You don't want to allow any contact by that offensive post player. You want it to be a mystery as to where you are on defense.
Ajavon, 7 to shoot. With Little on her step-back jumper, as Little got a piece. That size can be very helpful defensively, and she's got very good hands.
Yeah, the length of Atlanta inside is amazing, and you have to be aware of that.
Ooh, tough baseline move from McCautry, and she's starting to heat up.
She is. She had a little swagger running back also, which is dangerous for Washington.
She's got 7 now, 3 of 7 shooting. 19 apiece, 9-12 left here, second quarter.
Well, Atlanta's doing a great job getting over the top of screens defensively, talking, communicating.
We got a bump down low, and Sancho Little just picked up her 3rd personal foul.
Well, that's a crucial foul for the Dream. Sancho Little most definitely will not be back in this first half, and she's got a lot to say to the official in terms of clarifying why that call was made.
She's got to check out, and she already had 5 rebounds, 2 block shots, but she's going to have to sit the rest of this first half with those 3 personals.
Yeah, and that's tough. It's going to be tough for her in the third quarter to get back and get flowing, you know, and get back into the groove of things. After you sit now, she's going to sit for 9 game minutes, but that could be over 30 minutes of real time.
Marissa Coleman back in there for the Mystics, 6 to shoot. Switched out, we got an offensive foul as Kia Sanford just clearing out Coco Miller. And that is her first, and it's a turnover by the Mystics, their 5th.
Well, it just looked like Nakia Sanford was trying to take an off-ball cut, and Miller had switched off on her and disallowed that cut. A little bit too much upper body contact by Sanford.
Almost turned over by Atlanta, but they recover, 13 to shoot. Price kick out. Castro Marquez ball fake, jumper got it to go, and she's got 8. And it's 21-19 Atlanta, 8:34 left first half.
Well, she just gets up so high on the release of her shot. Even if it was contested, you weren't going to get a touch on that ball.
7-0 run by Atlanta. Coleman left wing. Country all over her. Ajavon switched out. The Sousa on her. High off the window. Good for Ajavon.
Well, Ajavon needs to continue to attack.
Look at Coco Miller. Crab dribble for the lay-in.
The crab dribble, but the Mystics need to get back defensively. For as beautiful as Mattia Ajavon's move was, you've got to get back on defense and finish that up.
Coleman, Smith, extra pass. Harding gonna crack a 3. Got it.
Harding with the nice shot, wide open on the rotation of the ball.
But again, the Mystics not get back defensively. Price gets hit hard across the forehead. She's going to shoot 2.
Well, you've got to know as soon as you score the ball, you've got to turn the Jets on and get back on defense. Washington, this is about the 4th or 5th time they have not been able to get back and contest at the rim, and Atlanta knows that. Atlanta's running up the backs of the defense for Washington.
Fouls on Marissa Coleman. That's her first, team second, so Price to the line to shoot a pair. 24-23 Mystics, 7:42 left here in the first half of play. Mystics the top seed in the East, Atlanta the 4th seed. Liberty and Indiana will get together shortly. That should be a good series.
Well, I'm excited about the entire playoff picture. I mean, especially in the East because of how competitive the East was all season, and not to say that the West wasn't, because they were battling it out for that last playoff spot as well. So very competitive season. Just it's going to be who wants it more at this point of the year.
Costry wanted more on that rebound, but she turns it over. Good call as she did carry the basketball, and that is the 6th turnover by Atlanta. So Mystics